Welcome. It's a soggy, cold night, 36 degrees in Boise. The snow is about set to fall, and we are ready for championship football. And for the first time, the Mountain West Championship game will feature two ranked teams. 25th ranked Fresno State against 22nd ranked Boise State. Two foes that are rather familiar with one another. Fresno State has won the toss and deferred. Boise State will receive. And here come the Broncos. Looking to move it away with Avery Williams. Out past the 30, and a fine start for Boise State. And here comes their four-year starter at quarterback. Brett Rypien leads all active FBS quarterbacks in passing yards. Is that good? That's a rhetorical question. He's 15th in career passing yards. With a big game here tonight in the bowl game, he could crack the top 10. 37 wins. He is second in school history, behind that pesky Kellen Moore name that continues to follow him around. First down and 10 from the 34. In the blue, on the blue, and the handoff is to Alexander Madison, and get used to that. He carries the football all the time. Last week carried it 37 times off handoffs from that man.
Yeah, this is going to be the final game for Brett Rypien in front of this home crowd here on the turf in Boise, and what a career it's been. Obviously, an outstanding season this year. Really took over that leadership role for this team. Hard to believe it was only a year ago he was having to compete for a starting job again. But now this is his football team.
On second down and 10. Here's Rypien to throw for the first time. Wants to air one out on the sideline. Had a man. And just a bit too far for C.T. Thomas. And it brings up a 3rd and 10.
And you mentioned the running back Alexander Madison. There is no running back in college football that has toted the rock more in the month of November than that man right there. And in the last 3 games, he has been over 140 plus each one of those games. There's no question this offense for Boise runs through number 22.
Yeah, Boise, who's known for all the surprise and the trick plays, but now when it comes to handing off the football to Madison, M-A-T-T-I-S-O-N. There's no D in that last name. Here's 3rd down and 10. Here's Rypien, will get out of there and scramble, and it looks like he's going to come up just short. The flag comes in late. He went down for the slide to give himself up, and Fresno State came anyway with contact. Juju Hughes was there on the play, along with Aaron Mosby.
Yeah, it looked like Mosby was the one they're going to throw this flag on. Now, they spot this where he starts to go down, and that's a launch there from Mosby. We'll see if they determine that this was a targeting call.
Personal foul, targeting, defense, number 15. That's a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
On the ground, it is Madison. Down to the 40-yard line, and he pushed back for getting forward progress. Check in with Todd McShay and our Chick-fil-A Impact players.
Well, you guys have already started talking about him. We're going to talk about him all night long. Alexander Madison, the running back spot. Not just a runner, but as a pass catcher, and I think he's as good a back as we've seen all year in pass protection. He's going to be going up against Jeff Allison, number 9, the team leader with 109 tackles for Fresno.
He was the conference's defensive player of the year. Second down and 8. Just beyond the 40. Good protection for Rypien. Now looks to get out of there. And he'll turn into a ball carrier and get a yard or 2. He's forced out by Michael Walker. That's like the cherry on top, Grease. When you talk about these great running backs, they seem to be missing one thing, pass protection. And he can do that too, so he's got it all.
There's no question. And he's 215 pounds, which allows him to step up in the hole and to take on blitzing linebackers. They love him in this situation, 3rd and 7. You see, he's still in the game for that exact reason, for pass protection. And he's a great receiver. So if he doesn't get a blitzing linebacker, they can get the football to him.
Love those 3 down backs. Here's 3rd down and 7 now. From the 39 of Boise, or rather of Fresno State. Rypien to throw. And he airmails, looking for Sean Modster, well over his head. Jaron Bryant had the coverage.
And a good response from this Fresno State defense. They get the first stop and they get the targeting foul, which gives the first down to Boise. And they're behind the sticks, but they rise up. This is a defense that is the best defense in the Mountain West. And have come in, they stop the run, and they play good defense and get after the quarterback. It'll be a challenge for Boise tonight.
Quinn Skinlon is back to punt it away. From midfield, see if he can pin the Bulldogs deep. Ronnie Rivers, the fair catch at the 8-yard line. It's a 31-yard punt. Marcus McMaryion, 3-year player at Oregon State, came over and really bailed out the Bulldogs. He's been so good, 19-4 overall record as a starter. And when you look at his completion percentage, well, let's just say he's a 1/10 of a percentage point behind Kyler Murray of Oklahoma. He's in the top 5. That's good enough.
There's no question he has been the catalyst for this turnaround for Jeff Ted for back-to-back 10-win seasons. But the missing piece has been to win here on the blue turf against Boise.
And they are up against it now. First possession of the game for Fresno State. From their own 8, off the play fake. McMaryion to throw and finds Micaiah Quick. He's got first down yardage out to the 21. Tyson Maeva made the stop. Gain of 17 on the play.
You're going to see up-tempo from Fresno State. They want to get this crowd out of the game.
First running play to Ronnie Rivers. He's their top running back. Keikoa Nawahine made the stop. As you see the rain shifting to snow here.
Yeah, this is as tough as it's going to be, I think, all night to throw the football because it's raining and slick.
Second down and 5. They go Wildcat. And it's McMaryion carrying the football up the middle. And again, it's Maeva making the stop, his second stop.
So it will be interesting to watch. This is quarter by quarter. We normally don't do this, but it's going to be easier to throw the football when it starts to snow and it's not so much moisture.
On the ground, Rivers trying to spin away. Curtis Weaver makes the stop. Todd.
It'll be interesting to see with Marcus McMaryion, a guy who grew up in California, born and raised, has had some ups and downs in late in the season in cold weather games. Wyoming last year, here at Boise. So can he handle this weather, especially as you alluded to, Brian, when it's raining early on? Between the cold and the rain, makes for a tough ball to throw.
This is the most difficult environment and weather conditions to throw the ball as a quarterback, no question.
And if they had a packed house here, it'd be that much tougher for McMaryion. He's back to throw. Lofts one down the middle of the field. And it was too far. They got a burner there in Jameer Jordan. Tyler Horton had the coverage, the top cover corner for Boise State.
You know, the disadvantage for Fresno State is this is a predominantly passing attack offensively. They wanted to be a running team early, and their offensive coordinator, Kalen DeBoer, said, listen, we started throwing the ball, we became a passing team, and you can't just flip a switch and run the ball effectively. So they've got to find a way to move the ball in these kind of conditions.
Third down and 9. Rivers the single setback. Boise shifting. Rushing for McMaryion underneath, able to complete to Darian Grimm. And it's Maeva again, another tackle in the middle. He's the main man in the middle, getting everybody lined up in that Boise State defense.
Yeah, great job by Maeva. He's just sitting back in a zone drop. Here he is right here. He's just going to sit there, and he's eyeing that crosser. Soon as that tight end gets past him, he sees the crosser, knows the down and distance, and makes the sure tackle.
Blake Cusick is back to punt it away from his own 23. Avery Williams back deep for Boise State. Williams will call for the fair catch and nearly muffed it at his own 26. So we've got a targeting and an ejection and no score less than 5 minutes in after that 37-yard punt. All right, Adnan, thanks. I'm sure we'll talk to you a couple hundred times the rest of the night.
Nobody will be questioning that Kirby Smart that fake punt, right?
Oh, it slips out of Rypien's hands. And let's see if it falls harmlessly away. Michael Walker jumped on it just in case.
We just talked about how slippery that ball is and how wet that ball is. The ball definitely comes forward, and his arm is coming forward. The question is, did he have control of this ball while his arm came forward? Boy, that's close.
You can see the rain really coming down.
The ruling on the field is the hand was coming forward, but the ball had come loose prior to the hand coming forward. Therefore, we have a fumble recovered by the defense.
So that Michael Walker play looking like a much bigger deal now.
So that's very well explained there by that head official. The question is now, as we go back and look at it, was the ball out of his hand before the hand starts coming forward? And I think that's absolutely correct. And that is a good call on the field,
yes,
which I think will be, if they look at it in the booth, will be confirmed.
That's a good angle, Grease. You can see the rain really pounding down as well.
Great opportunity for Fresno State here in the red zone.
First turnover of the game. Goes the way of the Bulldogs. Here's McMaryion. How will he handle the precipitation? From the Boise State 20. On the ground with Ronnie Rivers trying to push the pile a little bit. He'll pick up 2. Sonutene Looney able to make the stop.
I think one of the differences for Fresno State, for them to get over this hurdle of winning here at Boise, I think McMaryion is going to have to keep the ball and use his legs in the red zone effectively tonight to win.
Second down and 8. Rivers again able to get to that second level, and he's down to the 15-yard line. Jabril Frazier on the tackle. 3rd and 5.
Third downs have really been the difference in these last 2 games in this series. There is no question Boise State has been very good on third downs defensively, 12th in the college football and 1st in the Mountain West.
Broncos are bringing some people. It's picked up nicely. McMaryion to the corner of the end zone. It is caught. It's quick for the score. Marcus McMaryion to Micaiah Quick for the touchdown, 15 yards, and the turnover. Bulldogs make Boise State pay.
If you're going to make the quarterback throw in these kind of conditions, make it an easy throw. There's man-to-man coverage on the outside, and this is a corner route, which allows McMaryion just to loft this ball, Steve, into the corner. See how you don't have to put a whole lot of zip on it. He just needed to loft it up into the corner and allow the receiver to come down underneath it.
Extra points have been an issue. Not this time for Asa Fuller. Reese, I really want to stay in my lane, but did you see Ronnie Rivers pick up that blitz?
Nice job. I see you picking up that stuff on the field.
There's the turnover, correctly called immediately on the field. And the fumble by Rypien is turning away McMaryion to Quick scoring play. Touchdown, Bulldogs lead. Mountain West only started playing their championship game in 2013. Fresno State won the inaugural game in 2013. They've appeared 4 times in the game. Boise has appeared 3 times. Of course, 3 times they've played each other, and all 3 games have been here. Seems rather unfair. The previous 2 won by the home team. Killian Butler is going to run it out. And he is upended, and the football comes out. First down to 10 from the 25. Madison is the setback. Fake it to him, and the quick throw to A.J. Richardson. Goes incomplete. It'll be second down to 10. So, you know, in the NFC West, Grease, they only play twice a year. In the Mountain West, they have to play 4 times a year. This is the 4th game in the last 371 days. These 2 squads getting together. You know, Boise's known for their tricks. Right. Fresno State's not going to be fooled. I mean, they just know each other so well.
They do. This game isn't going to be won on a trick play. It's going to be won in the trenches. I think for Fresno to win, they have to contain Alexander Madison. And as we've seen, the elements are definitely going to factor into the outcome.
C.T. Thomas securing that football. Jaron Bryant able to force him out.
But you're right, you know, these 2 teams, this is a budding rivalry. For a lot of people around the country that are tuning into this championship game, this is a budding rivalry in the Mountain West. And the 2 outstanding coaches, Jeff Tedford and the job that he's done, 1-11 2 years ago and back-to-back 10-win seasons. And this is a legitimate defense that Boise's going to go against tonight.
Able to get the first down, move the sticks. Here's Madison on the ground. And he'll pick up 3. And you'll forgive me if I don't mention on every play, he's the Mountain West Conference first team player or second team player. I mean, every single guy on the field is on the first or second team. These are clearly the 2 top teams in this conference and deservedly playing in the championship game here tonight.
And I think Madison is the best player in the Mountain West. And you see, he came off the field there after that last run, holding his wrist. Talking with Brian Harsin, their coaching staff, they want to target 30 to 35 carries for Madison, which you don't normally hear that with coaches. You say, we want to get them as many touches as we can, but to target that many, that's a lot of touches.
Robert Mahone is checked in. And Madison a bit of a break there. Sean Monster, their leading receiver, makes the catch. He is, by the way, second team All Mountain West Conference. Juju Hughes made the stop. It's a gain of 11. They'll move to 6 again. From the 40. Chase Blakely, the tight end, in motion. Off the play fake. Rypien will get out of there, has some running room if he wants it, and now we'll just, I guess he was throwing it away. Monster was in the neighborhood, so too was Jaron Bryant.
Nice pursuit there too by the linebacker James Bailey and Michael Walker. You see Bailey was coming up, almost got the sack. And watch the effort for Bailey to get back up and get into this play. Really nice job. Rypien hurt Fresno State in the last game, especially with his legs on third down situations. Fresno has to make that adjustment in this game and keep him from hurting him on the ground.
Alexander Madison is checked back in. Bates and Blakely in there as well at tight end. It is Madison. Wow, he is met head on at the 40 by Jeff Allison. Only the second effort able to get a few yards. Mike Bell came up from his safety spot. Bell might be the most NFL-ready player on that Fresno State defense.
Yeah, he's got the size, 6'3", 203 pounds, and I'm really looking forward to the matchup with Bell on the perimeter tackling against Madison in the open field, because Madison has made a lot of Mountain West defenders look silly. He'll run you over and then he'll jump over top of you as well. But Mike Bell, when those two meet up, it should be fireworks.
Levy's an NFL scout now too, huh?
Yes, he doesn't need us, Todd.
I got him in the second round of the Jets, McShay. Quick throw out to Richardson. Oh, look at that. Forearm shiver and able to get some extra yards. He's just pushing Juju Hughes around for some extra yardage.
Fresno State was able to get the stop on the first drive for no points for Boise. We'll see if they're able to do it again here in this third down situation. See, they're one of the best defenses in the country in these situations.
Rypien sidesteps some pressure and run up the middle and now slide down, but he definitely has first down yardage. George Helmuth able to get him down after a gain of 6.
I'll give some credit to Madison as well. He's right here. He has the middle linebacker. He just gets enough of him right there, Steve. I think Helmuth could have gotten to the quarterback there, a little more aggressive rush against Madison.
That red zone defense you're talking about for Fresno, Grease, #1 in the nation, which is significant. On first down and 10 now. Madison running angrily, like downhill for a couple. Patrick Bellany makes his first stop.
Well, and we also mentioned the feet of Brett Rypien, and again, he's able to hurt Fresno State on a third down situation, getting that first down with his feet. Now this situation, if I'm Boise State offensively, I might take a shot to the end zone, knowing that it's going to be tough in these situations to run the football. Only 8 touchdowns rushing allowed by Fresno State all season. That's tied for first with Alabama.
Drive started from their own 25. Here's play number 14. Give it to the first man through. That is Madison. And it'll bring up a 3rd down. So Rypien's a mobile quarterback, Reese, or he's not? Like I keep hearing he's not really a running quarterback, but when you need 6, he can get that for you.
Yeah, no, I would not qualify him as a mobile quarterback. I qualify him as a smart quarterback. When he sees a lane, he'll take it. Knowing the down and distance, I don't think he's going to make a living converting 3rd and 11s with his feet. But he knows when it's 3rd and 7 or less, and I get a 2-man situation, or I see a crease that he's got just enough to hurt you.
3rd down and 9. They can get a 1st down. Got all sorts of time now. Rypien will throw, and it nearly intercepted and nearly caught. He did. It's Sean Monster went through the hands of Jaron Bryant. And if Monster kept a foot in, that would be something.
I'm standing right here, Levy. I mean, honestly, 3-4 yards away. If that's not called a catch, I'll be really surprised. It was shocking. The ball slipped through the defender's hands, and he just happened to be right in that spot.
Wow. Yeah, Todd, it looked like the right toe of Monster.
And you can see the mark on the actual orange turf, too.
You know what's crazy, Todd? His right foot it looked like it may have been out of bounds, and then he picked it back up and brought it back inbounds. The question is, did he go out of bounds, then come back in? That would make him ineligible to catch that ball. I think they need to take a look at that.
There's a lot to unpack there. What a job by Sean Monster. 5th-year senior player. Extra point. On the way, and it is good. Hayden Hogarth puts it through. 15 plays, 75 yards. Boise State takes over 7 minutes off the 1st quarter clock.
Great control by Monster. Yeah, he kept that toe in bounds and great concentration.
I see orange there, Grease. What a play. Concentration and the toe tap in a 7-7 championship game. Back in Boise, where it's snowing up here, and yet, McShay, is it snowing down there?
It's still rain, buddy. Pouring rain.
Hey, Al Roker, how is that possible? It could be snowing up here and raining down there.
It's called elevation.
Oh, that's how that works. Short kick. Muffed around and recovered out to the 25. Matt Smith, the backup center, able to recover that short kick. That's why they start at the 25 on 1st down and 10. Handoff to Ronnie Rivers, squirts through for a yard. Curtis Weaver made the tackle.
Go back and take another look at that touchdown from Monster. Great control of his feet. See clearly he's in bounds there. The concentration to be that close to the end line and then to get that deflection and concentrate in the rain to make that's an outstanding play.
Handed it off to a receiver. Micaiah Quick. Nothing doing. Curtis Weaver comes up with his 2nd stop. It's a tackle for loss.
Great job by Curtis Weaver. He's made back-to-back plays. 1st team all-conference for Boise defensively, and he is impacting this football game.
The only thing Weaver doesn't like about Boise is there's no Filipino restaurant in town. Said his mom, when she comes, got to do all the cooking. 3rd down and 17 as we hit the final minute of quarter number 1. 7-7 in the Mountain West championship game. There's McMaryion. We'll take the easy one underneath to Jared Rice, the tight end. Out of the 25, Avery Williams made the stop. Their most consistent tight end. Todd?
Oh, we were talking about Keyshawn Johnson earlier. They've got to get him involved. I mean, he's a player, in my opinion, he's the highest rated draft prospect in this entire game. He's 6'2", 200 pounds, big physical receiver who really does a good job of boxing out and getting late separation with that size.
Got some pressure on Cusick that time. Williams will let it bounce, and what a Fresno State bounce it takes. It might have been a 20-yard bounce, and Williams trying to make something out of nothing. Avery Williams. Wow, what an effort from start to finish. Bryant brought him down on the special teams tackle.
Great job by Jaron Bryant, Steve. He's the one that let the ball go through his hands for the touchdown. And as you mentioned, great effort by Williams. And if Bryant doesn't make this play, it's a touchdown.
It's a 48-yard punt, but an exciting return. That's the quarter. Capitol in the backdrop. See the mountains, they got a lot in the backdrop here in Boise. We're back on the blue surface. Little quick pitch to C.T. Thomas, trying to turn the end. He's able to pick up 5 as we open up quarter number 2. Some former Broncos in the house tonight being recognized.
Big names. Leighton Vander Esch there.
Yeah. Jay Ajayi is here.
Ajayi, yeah, he's the one with the skull cap there. Ced Wilson, the former receiver here. They've turned out a lot of really good players there.
Especially the running back position. Speaking of which, Alexander Madison, he can do that for you. Taking on Juju Hughes. Gain of 13, that's the B button we were talking about.
He has done this the last couple of games. Like the last month of the season, he's tried to hurdle guys, and clearly Juju was ready for it. It was a little premature. He tried to go from the free throw line there.
Yeah, first down at 12. Madison is wrestled down by Jeff Allison. Speaking of Madison, that's not the first time he's tried to hurdle an opponent. This was last week against Utah State. See you later. That was the classic hurdle. And sometimes, Grease, you got to hurdle over your own guys, too.
Yeah, maybe he ran the hurdles in high school. Who knows? But, you know, at 211 pounds, you know, to get up that high, now that one wasn't as successful. No. That's amazing athlete.
Ripping the throw. Able to complete to Chase Blakely, the tight end. His first catch. Mike Bell made the stop. Madison's well behind his pace. Grease has only carried the ball 9 times so far tonight.
Well, coming into tonight, he had carried the ball 262 times on the season, and he took it to heart in the offseason. Wanted to get in the best shape possible to take the pounding. He knew his team was going to be relying on him, and he's done everything he possibly can with his diet, nutrition, working out to get ready for this season. And I think this may be the last time this crowd here in Boise sees him play for the Broncos.
3rd down and 10. Here's Rypien. Bulldogs rushing 4. The Broncos trying for the big play. And let's see. Monster. Of course he got his foot in. Working on Matt Boating.
Monster has been the most valuable player on offense so far in this game just because he's handled the elements. He's catching the football, concentrating on the point, and getting his feet down. He's made 2 huge plays.
Those cheerleaders are good, too. They're smiling through the elements. Not easy out there for any of the personnel. There's Madison. Helmuth makes the stop.
Touchdown catch from Monster. He came into this game leading receiver for this Boise State team. He's not a burner. He's not going to beat you down the field, but he is a possession-type receiver with good hands.
2nd down and 5. And some late pressure. Rypien will throw out an unbelievable play. A.J. Richardson is stopped by James Bailey. That's 7 on 7. And that, you know, you talk about Monster and Richardson. You know, they had Thomas Spurback here. They had Cedric Wilson. They're wondering where the next great wide receiver was going to be. And it's really been wide receiver by committee. You said they don't have the game break or the burn.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's been good for Brett Rypien. We talked about that with him last night. He said, I kind of locked in on guys like Ced Wilson. And why wouldn't you? But he's had to be a more complete quarterback. He's had to spread the ball around, and it's been good for his development.
3rd down and 12. They come out empty. And Rypien overthrows Madison out of the backfield. It's going to be a 4th down and 12.
I got to be honest, just watching, you know, Boise and the way they're operating offensively right now. In these kind of conditions, these are the most difficult throws. You see how that ball comes out? I mean, that's not Brett Rypien how he normally throws the ball. But these perimeter throws with very little room for error, those are some of the most difficult throws in this environment. Why do you keep calling those plays?
That's not on the quarterback. That's on the play caller. Quinn Skillen. Kick it away. And it will go for a touchback. 11:16 to go after a 36-yard punt. And a whole lot less net than that. Braving the elements in Boise. It stays 7-all. And Fresno State will take over. And on 1st down, it's Josh Hoken. He's stopped by Ezekiel Noah. Hoken is an interesting story. He goes 6'1", 220 when he's playing football. When he's wrestling, he's able to drop down to 197. You're kidding. Former state champ in high school as a wrestler. His first offer. was as a wrestler. Here's Jared Rice making some people miss. He's out to the 38-yard line.
They're going to need Hoken because they're playing without Jordan Mims, the sophomore who has 113 rushes on the season. Obviously, we've seen Ronnie Rivers already in this game, but Hoken needs to take some of the pressure off of Rivers.
That's Grimm in motion. McMaryion will throw that way, able to complete to Grimm. Needs a little shake and bake, makes a move, and has first down yardage. Darian Grimm, the junior from Stockton, and it's a gain of 12.
I like Darian Grimm. Everybody wants to talk about Keyshawn Johnson, but Grimm is a playmaker. He's very sure-handed. He's stocky. He's not the tallest, 6'1", but he's 195 pounds and can break tackles.
On the ground, it's Rivers, the ball carrier. We were wondering about the Boise State uniforms. You know, they're not Oregon, but they like many different combinations. People get upset they wear the blue, all blue on the blue turf, and someone joked, hey, they could wear the all white if it starts snowing. Imagine all white uniforms for the home team here in the snow. 2nd and 6, under 5 to play here in the half. On the ground, Ronnie Rivers for first down yardage.
Nice cut from Ronnie Rivers there. Just a great vision by him. You know, they were really excited about him in the spring. He got hurt in the spring, and now he's back to full health.
Less players behind him. No Jordan Mims. Had foot surgery yesterday, so he's out of the lineup and done for the season. Here's McMaryion. Delaying long enough to get it to Grimm, able to slip one tackler, and then he is tripped up. Talk about the crowds, and even Van Der Esch said, hey, he would hope more people would have come out here tonight. And look, there's no way to get around it. Boise State has to be disappointed by the crowd here tonight. The conference certainly has to be disappointed as well. They said they'll have between 22 and 24,000. Boise State does lead the conference in average attendance. They were nearly full a week ago. They were nearly full 3 weeks ago when Fresno State was last year. But these conference games, no neutral site, these conference games have been tough to fill up.
You would think at home they would be able to fill it up.
Here's McMaryion, again delaying, finally able to get rid of it to Jared Rice. And we'll check the down and distance now.
But this place has been one of the greatest home field advantages in the Mountain West Conference historically, and it gets loud. It was loud here a week ago against Utah State. They had 35,000 a month ago when they hosted Fresno, and tonight it looks like they're a little bit down.
Brian Harsin said it was the vintage Boise State crowd a week ago when they needed that game against Utah State to ensure this home game. 3rd and 14. McMaryion cocks and fires and through the hands of Keyshawn Johnson. Tyler Horton was there to make sure there was no catch. Second time targeting Johnson tonight.
Something going on there with Keyshawn Johnson. I thought that ball was well thrown, especially considering the conditions, but he's throwing the skinny post. And it looked like Keyshawn Johnson couldn't pick the football up, and it hit him in the chest before he even put his hands up.
So on 4th and 14, Asa Fuller, the freshman kicker, will attempt a 44-yard field goal. Just 11 of 19 on the season. In the snow, Fuller able to boot it through. And a significant kick for the redshirt freshman, who has really struggled. No problem there. From 44 yards away in a snow globe. Zeros on the clock. Halftime of the Mountain West Championship game. Fresno State leading Boise State 10-7. Send you back to Adnan, Joey, Jesse. As we get you set for third quarter action. First time ever this championship game has been with a couple of top 25 teams, and Fresno State by a field goal over Boise State. And it's going to snow. It's 34 degrees now. Going to snow throughout the second half.
What other way would you rather end the night? You know, on championship weekend?
The cold never bothered me anyway. Steve Lee with Brian Greasy. Todd McShay is dealing with the elements down there. We thought it would be close.
Yep.
I mean, these two teams know each other. This was kind of a pick-em game anyway. Just thought we'd see some more points.
This is going to be a great second half. I mean, Fresno has never won on the blue turf,
Yes.
okay? And they're 30 minutes away, a 3-point lead from realizing what they have never been able to do. It's all right there for them. They just got to go out and execute.
And just the eye test, or my eyes anyway, Fresno State looks like the better football team. It's not just a field goal game, just by watching the way Boise State has played offensively.
There's no question. They outplayed them in the first half. And certainly turnovers are going to be a factor. They will continue to be a factor. The kicking game, I think will certainly help decide the outcome of this one.
Right now, a kick is the difference. A 44-yard field goal by Asa Fuller, the redshirt freshman.
The second half.
And the Bulldogs will get the football. Joel Velasquez will kick it away. Second half, we are underway. And it's a ground ball. Jameer Jordan will scoop it up. Looks fast, those white uniforms gliding on the snow. Down to Todd McShay in one of the McShay matchups.
Yeah, we talked about it early, Steve. Alexander Madison is such a key part of this offense for Boise State, but the linebackers, and especially Jeff Allison, have done a tremendous job of eliminating his yards after contact today. Here you see just a quick eye discipline, knowing where to be, and then making the big stick in the hole. If they keep this up in the second half, it's going to be big for Fresno State defensively.
Todd Allison had 14 tackles in this game a month ago, and he's well on his way now.
First down and 10 with the senior from California, Marcus McMaryion. And on first down, he will hand off to Ronnie Rivers. Not much doing there. Louis comes in to make the stop, the most musically inclined defender on that Boise State defense. Apparently he can play every kind of instrument. Grease plays the ukulele, can sing a little bit. Karaoke night, he's big.
Well, if the big guy can, he has the pipes.
Right.
That puts him on another level. A lot of guys can play the ukulele, but not many can sing to it, too.
Next level. Don't need those Gen stats either for that next level. Second down and 8. Rivers make a couple people miss and pick up a few more. It'll be about a third down and 5. Let's do the snow thing, Grease. The guy at home, he loves the snow game. If you're on the couch tonight watching, you love the snow game. And the player's perspective is?
I think the big guys love it.
Okay.
The skill guys don't. Anybody that has to touch the football, they're not big fans.
Well, Van Der Esch was up here. He said he would have loved to play in this game. Never got a real snow game in his career. Marcus McMaryion taking off, showing the wheels, and he's inside the Boise State 30.
Talk about the big guys loving to play in the snow. This is one of the biggest guys on the field. The right guard, Micah St. Andrews, pulling around, fleet foot, getting on the second level, and that's what gets McMaryion into the secondary.
29 yards on the gallop for Marcus McMaryion. The Bulldogs are in business. And that pass is dropped. Johnson will just jump on it just to make sure it's an incomplete pass.
And I also want to make a point about double moves in the snow. Okay, so the offensive players know where they're going.
Right.
Defensive players don't.
Sure.
So it makes sense that you run double moves with receivers to make DBs have to change direction. And that time, that's why they got the penalty on Horton.
Second down and 10. McMaryion will give it to Rivers. He is stopped at the line of scrimmage and will stop for a loss. Jabril Frazier comes up to make the tackle. Frazier, you want to talk about a tough guy? We had a chance to sit down and talk with him. He had to undergo 3 different surgeries. He did them all at the same time, Grease. 3 surgeries by the same doctor. Who needs a specialist?
That's just a model of efficiency, right? Listen, if you're going to put me under, you might as well get it all done.
It's like going for a complete tune-up. A mechanic, except it's a doctor. Shoulder, knee, ankle, got it all cleaned up. And Jabril Frazier, one of the captains, he is good to go for the Broncos. 3rd and 12. McMaryion will take another shot. Looking for Keyshawn, and again, could not get there. Now Rahine had the coverage for Boise State.
Yeah, Yeah, Nawahine was back at that deep safety position. I don't think Marcus McMaryion ever saw him. Here he is. He's just going to go back there. And when McMaryion lets this ball go, Nawahine's got his eyes on the ball, and McMarion's lucky this wasn't intercepted. I don't think he ever saw him.
Asa Fuller has already connected from 44. This will be a 39-yard attempt for the redshirt freshman. He's got the big leg, but has struggled with his accuracy. Let's see how he does here. In the snow. And just hooks it home. Asa Fuller.
11:07 to go.
Playing the elements perfectly.
You said it. We talked with Jeff Tedford this week, and he said he had some growing pains. He's got a great leg. He said he can make any kick, though. Did that time.
So, Adrian, you could say the closest game going on right now is this one. Mountain West Championship game. It's a 6-point game. 15-7. Here's Butler looking to run it out. Trying to spin away out to the 24-yard line. Mike Bell, a special teams tackle.
In the last 2 times these teams have met, in the 4th quarter, he's had to come back to win, and he's done it.
First down and 10. Alexander Madison. Expect a dose of that. Mike Bell came up to make the stop. So Rypien has been sort of playing against the ghost a little bit, the ghost of Kellen Moore. There's nothing you can do about that. You know, every franchise, every program has a certain standard and the high ceiling, and that is Kellen Moore here as Madison, for running backs, does it. Takes it out, approaching midfield.
And we talked about Madison and Mike Bell, the safety for Fresno State. That matchup this time, Bell comes up right here. He's got to break down and get Madison on the ground. Yeah, he's big and physical, but he's also got some elusiveness. 17
yards there. Madison has 16 rushing touchdowns this season. Why not feed the big man? There's first down and 10. Again, approaching midfield.
Well, Joker coming back home.
This is an important homecoming for Joker. You know, Boise State welcomed back a lot of their former great players. They would have had our cameraman, Kevin Edmondson, out there. We call him Joker. He played corner, led Boise in kick returns back in 1985. He doesn't look as fast anymore, but apparently he was pretty quick back then. Had a 23.5-yard return average that would put him 3rd in the Mountain West this season.
Wow.
So welcome home. But I'm looking for the retired numbers up on the side of the stadium, and I don't see anything that says Joker.
I think Joker still has hands. I was watching him up here with McShay in pregame. Take a look at Joker.
Yeah.
He's working the camera right there. Here comes the ball. And with
ease, Grease.
Look at that. Now, Joker, the throwback was not ideal.
Oh, come on, Greasy.
But he was a receiver, not a quarterback.
I enjoy it when the cameras get the cameraman. That's great. So we are, thanks to our entire crew, braving the elements. This is a fine way for our crew to finish up, too, here in a blizzard in Boise. Madison is the ball carrier.
This is shaping up as an impressive drive for Boise State offensively. They give up a drive to start the second half to Fresno State, but they get the stop and force the field goal. So still obviously a 1-score game, and now they've taken control predominantly on the ground with Madison.
6 straight carries by Alexander Madison. Again, that is nothing new for him. He will get the bulk of the work. 2nd down and 7. We'll try it again, make it 7 consecutive carries for Madison. And as you would expect, the Fresno defense is ready for him too, led by James Bailey. In the 4th quarter last week in that critical game right here against Utah State, get this, Grease, Boise State ran 23 offensive plays. 17 of them were carries by Madison.
Yeah, he just grinded it out, and that's going to be the game plan in this second half as well. The challenge now is for Madison. Can he keep up that pace? Because Fresno State knows they can tee off. They've got 7, 8 guys in the box and not worried about Brett Rypien throwing.
Good news for Fresno State. Michael Walker is back in the game. Here's Rypien. The rare passing attempt, and he'll run for it instead. And it's going to bring up a 4th down, I beg your pardon.
I think the real problem...
With about 6.
Yep. Now, you know, we talked with Brian Harsin about what his range was to attempt a field goal. He said we have been a 4-down team from about the 25 to the 35-yard line. They're right at the 26. So this is on the edge here of going for it, but he's going to decide to kick.
Daniel Cantrell is the snapper. This is significant. They have changed snappers for field goals and extra points this week. This is from 43 yards away for Hayden Hogarth. Snap is good, and the place was good, and it is no good. I think that was blocked. Somebody got a piece of that. And it might have been Matt Bodang.
He was coming hard off the edge. I think he just hooked this, Steve. There comes Bodang around the edge. Yeah, he didn't get a piece of that. That was just hooked by Bogart.
So that's when the snap winds up being fine. The hold is good, just the kick is not. Still 13-7. The history, the recent history between these two, well, it's not good for the Bulldogs. You see, they won the one game on their home field back in November of last year, but in the last two games, they actually had the lead going into the fourth quarter and lost both of those games to these Broncos. Get this, Jeff Tedford Grease is 18-2 as Fresno State's head coach when leading after 3 quarters. 18-2, and there are those 2 losses, the only 2 he's got.
The only good news for him is that the guy that made the big play to win the last game, Khalil Shakir, is out for this game. But certainly they have got to learn how to finish.
On the ground, McMaryion. He faked it to Hokett. It looked like the defense bought that fake, and that allowed McMaryion to get some good yardage. Noah eventually came up to make the stop. Boise State is banged up. Hey, every team is banged up now, but really the Broncos have gone throughout the season losing their best defensive lineman, their best linebacker, and best defensive back, and all they can do is watch here tonight. Here's Hokett, the ball carrier. Short of the marker. Durant Miles made the stop. There's David Moa, who hurt his leg in fall camp, the unquestioned leader of that defense. Riley Wimpy was their leading tackler. He was injured against BYU. And DeAndre Pierce from the defensive backs. He was their top guy. Now he's running practice with a whistle. And on 3rd down and 2, Looney comes up to make the stop.
Great play by Louis, knowing that 3rd and short situation. It's just going to take on the guard, just too physical there. And you got to give credit to this Boise State defense. You mentioned those were their best players, but they were also, Moa was their emotional leader, and DeAndre Pierce was the signal caller in the back end. So it wasn't just the good players, but they were also leaders and some of the smartest players on defense. And
energy guys as well. That snap to Blake Cusick was perfect. Credit to Jacob Westbury, the snapper. Avery Williams will call for the fair catch. There you go, the play fake and the throw. Able to complete to Sean Monster coming across. Tank Kelly made the tackle.
And really smart from Brett Rypien to target Monster. The one guy you know can catch the ball in these elements is Monster. He's had 2 unbelievable catches in the first half, 1 for a touchdown.
Tank Kelly can't cover you any closer than he did there. Trying to go to A.J. Richardson, little bump. Incomplete. Kelly on the coverage.
Oh, Tank Kelly got away with one there, and he knows it. He got there early. Definitely contact before that ball arrived, and no call from the official.
Come on, it's a championship game. Let's let him play a little. Ticky-tack, here we go. 17 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. $2 as they give it to Madison. You want some of that action?
No.
And for a loss. The whole planet knew, including the Fresno State defense, that Alexander Madison was going to get the football, and KT Jacopo was the first man there to make the stop. 4 seconds left in the quarter.
But a big-time stop from Fresno State defensively and back-to-back drives, and now they've taken control of this game on the defensive side.
Madison will get the extra breather as we get ready for the winning quarter in a championship game in the snow in Boise.
Welcome back to Boise, where Fresno State leads 13-7. I just saw Alexander Madison, the star running back for the Broncos, came off the field with the injury, watched him with the trainer, and the trainer worked on his left shoulder a little bit. After a little bit of that, he looked at the trainer, said, I'm fine, went back in the huddle, so I expect to see him later on in this game when the Broncos get the ball back.
All right. Todd, how's your play-by-play from down there? Because we can't see it. It's like one cloud.
What just happened?
One cloud has rolled in, and it is directly in front of the broadcast booth. Look at this. First down and 10. Marcus McMaryion and the Bulldogs with a 6-point lead. And McMaryion looking for more and finds a wide-open Keyshawn Johnson. Been waiting for it all night long. The big play to Johnson, who has been shut down, and they finally get it to him with big-time yardage. Good for 32.
And really nice job off of play action. A very creative route, lined him up in the slot, and he kind of weaved his way out to the corner, wide open.
On the ground to Hogan. Nothing doing there. Kekala Kaniho able to make the stop.
I would come back to that if I were Fresno State. You know, you lined Keyshawn Johnson up a lot of different places. All season they've tried to find ways to get him the football because every single defense keys him and doubles him. When you put him in the slot and it makes it more difficult to double him, at worst it will open up some lanes for your other receivers.
Johnson breaking Devontae Adams' records here. And Adams is the reason he came to Fresno State in the first place. Family friends, same high school, recruited him here. McMaryion hit as he throws. And they were looking to go back to Keyshawn Johnson. And he bounced after taking the contact from Curtis Weaver.
Yeah, it's Weaver just coming off the edge, and that is too short of an edge by Christian Cronk, the left tackle. He's a first-team all-conference player, but way too soft on the edge and allowing Weaver to get in the backfield.
So here's 3rd down and 11 now. McMaryion just over 100 yards passing tonight. 13 of 20. Look for his 14th completion. Down the field. Battle for the ball. That battle is won by Avery Williams. Going up with Keyshawn Johnson on a 50-50 ball.
Great job by Avery Williams. He's only 5'9", and Keyshawn Johnson 6'2". Watch him get his head back and play the football. Gets a hand on it. He's allowed to get a little bit of contact and leeway from the official because he's looking back and playing the football. That's really well done by Avery Williams.
Jacob Westbury is the snapper. Brought down nicely by Cusick. Avery Williams will let it bounce. See Boise State in that game. It was just 3 weeks ago. They trailed by 7 entering the 4th quarter, so actually in better shape. They're only down by 6. Here's Rypien to throw. Finds a wide open seam. It's John Bates out of nowhere. Rypien has been waiting for that all night.
Look at him look to his right there, looking off to safety. Looks off Helmuth, the linebacker. And yeah, the ball's a little bit short, but it's a completion and changes field position. And finally, something positive for Boise State offensively.
Good for 29. And Bates could have stayed on his feet. He could have had some real running room there, too. Sort of an awkward somersault after making the grab. On the ground is Madison. The pile will push him out of bounds. Tank Kelly. And on the Boise sideline, the crowd wanting a call. And no flags to be seen, Todd.
Well, you go back to that last throw from Brett Rypien, really important, the confidence as a quarterback. Could finally see some energy back in him after that throw. He's now, you know, he's yelling to the sidelines. It's almost like he needed one positive throw, and I would argue that was the best throw that he's had all night.
Yeah, I agree with you, Todd. It's all about confidence. That's what we came into this game talking about with these two quarterbacks. Rypien came in with all the confidence in the world because they've won this game, and McMaryion didn't have it. Now Rypien struggling.
Feeling some of that confidence. Rypien wants to throw again. He takes a couple of big hits, led by Jeff Allison.
Boy, he got stood up and took a couple of shots. He got wrapped up around the legs and then took a shot to his back.
Bobby Jones chased him out of the pocket.
Yeah. You can sense that Fresno State, they can taste it, right? They've been in this position the last 2 times they played, and they've given it up. They haven't finished. And if they're going to finish this game, it's going to be by this defense making plays.
So it's 3rd down and 3 at midfield. Rypien, quick throw, and able to complete to C.T. Thomas. Helmuth got the pressure and put a lick on Rypien.
Nobody ever questions the toughness of Brett Rypien. He had to have this 3rd down. He had to stand in there. Helmuth had a free shot on him. He knew he was going to take a big hit and still delivered the 1st down.
On the ground to Alexander Madison. They've softened up that Fresno defense a little bit. Juju Hughes preventing it from being a bigger gain. Mike Bell couldn't bring him down. Madison getting it done there.
Great job by this offensive line up front, too. Molchon, the left guard, coming off the football. They get a double team on Atkins, and when you get him to the 2nd level, there's not a lot of backs in college football better.
1st down and 10. This is Boise's best drive since I can't remember. Madison trying the left side on for size. Couple of yards. Helmuth makes the stop.
That's got to be their best drive since the 1st quarter when they scored the touchdown. The touchdown to Modster, that was an impressive drive. But since then, it's been all Fresno State defensively. But again, they started this drive around their 10-yard line. Now they're at the 35, but it's been difficult for them to finish drives.
2nd down and 8. From the 34, Fresno State. It is Madison hopping through some people. Is this the big play finally? Alexander Madison, touchdown! The patience of the Boise State offense finally pays off.
This is what he does in the 4th quarter of games, 2nd half of games. He just wears you out. You got to tackle him. You got to get him down 25, 30, now 35 times in a game, and that takes its toll on a defense and that offensive line. Give credit up front. Ezra Cleveland, the left tackle, a great seal block, and the finisher, Madison, to the end zone.
And so just like that, with 8 minutes to go, we're all even.
Point and extra point here.
Hayden Hogarth has not missed an extra point all season. Snap of the place, and it's blocked! The extra point is blocked! Matt Botag, who we thought blocked the earlier field goal and didn't, definitely got his fingertips on this one.
Credit Fresno State. They found a soft spot in the special teams unit. This field goal attempt unit for Boise State. Here he is right here. This is too soft on that edge. He comes right around. They don't even attempt to block him, Steve.
Wow. Simply amazing. First missed extra point on the season. Keeps it a tie game.
I thought the eye-opener today for me was Oklahoma's defense. And I think they've earned the right to be in that 4th spot. Their defense they're not great, but they came up with the stops they needed in a big game.
Find out for sure, noon Eastern tomorrow on ABC. DeJounte O'Neal returning it. McMaryion trying to run out of trouble, and he'll just throw that away. Canijo had the pressure on him. So Fresno State has won 1 time here at Boise. It came on September 8th, 1984. They won 37-21. Just to show you how long ago that was 2 seasons before the blue turf was installed. There's a whole generation that thinks they've never had green grass or turf here.
0-10 on this blue turf for Fresno State. They're trying to exercise demons right here tonight.
And in a championship game. McMaryion will throw into some duress. Nearly took out the guy with the 1st down marker. Louis had the quarterback pressure. He's had a strong game as well for Boise State.
Boy, it seems like McMaryion is playing this real safe, throwing the ball away. This time he feels a little bit of pressure and just throws it into the stands, but he's not even giving his receivers a chance to make a play.
And then he looks up and the official wanted to call. McMaryion is 1 for his last 6.
You can't hope to go win this game. You got to go do it.
3rd down and 10. Do not want to give Boise State the football back with momentum. McMaryion will throw. Cool and calm. He'll complete to his tight end, Jared Rice. And Rice somehow able to get out of tackles of 3 different Broncos to pick up the 1st down. Amazing opportunity by Jared Rice to keep that play alive.
Big-time players make these big-time plays. Jared Rice has been quiet all game long. He hasn't even targeted him. And you get him the football, he was stopped short of the 1st down, and that's just more will to win than the opponent. That's the 1st down.
That may be Maeva's first missed tackle. He had an opportunity to bring him down and get the football back for his offense. Instead, the clock continues to tick, and Fresno State has the ball looking for some more. Quick out to Darion Grimm. Horton had the coverage there.
Watch how that play by Jared Rice, that conversion, that effort, the way he made that play, watch how that affects his Fresno State offense. Watch how it affects McMaryion and his confidence in this drive.
2nd down and 5. They give us to Quick, the wide receiver, and he coughed up the football. Gave it up. Canijo able to pick it up for Boise State. Just when you figured that Fresno State had worked things out, confidence at a high, they coughed the football up.
We talked about the 2nd half turnovers being a big part of this. In these elements, Micaiah Quick, a wide receiver who's not used to running the football in between in all that traffic, does not secure it, and Boise State defensively makes the play of the game so far.
And Maeva, who just missed the tackle on Rice, along with Ezekiel Noah, they forced that turnover. And Boise State is in business with the football at the Fresno State 43. 1st down and 10. Rypien comes out throwing. Why wouldn't he? Hightower went up and couldn't bring it down. Tad Kelly and Juju Hughes had the coverage.
Look at Micaiah Quick, his reaction, the 5th-year senior. You know, all these receivers are seniors. There's a lot of seniors stacked on. They have never beaten Boise State up here, and they want it so bad. They can taste it. They've lost, and they've given these games away in 4th quarters, and he knows that that was a huge momentum change.
28 members of this Fresno State senior class. They went from having a 1-win team to 2 double-digit consecutive winning seasons. First time in 29 years they have consecutive 10-win seasons. Just the 2nd team in FBS history to go from double-digit losses to double-digit wins. So this senior class has experienced just about everything for the Bulldogs.
Meanwhile, after that momentum change, the same story for Fresno State defensively. They're up to the task. They've given up that one big run to Madison on the last drive. Outside of that, they force another 3rd and 9 situation here, maybe get off the field.
From the 43 of Fresno State. Rypien the throw. Nearly intercepted. Mike Bell nearly had it, and there would have been nothing but blue in front of him.
Unbelievable opportunity for Mike Bell. He runs underneath this, almost intercepts it. He read the route the entire time, Todd.
And what a potential huge play for Fresno. And they don't miss many of those opportunities. They've got 17 interceptions on the season. He has 3 alone, and they're ranked 5th in the entire FBS with those takeaways on INT.
Skillen trying to put Fresno State back deep. Ronnie Rivers, the fair catch. And it will be at the 10-yard line. That's where the Bulldogs will take over with 3:15 left in a tie game, a tie championship game.
And it might come down to the kicking game again. It's been good, certainly good for Fresno State, and it's been tragic for Boise State. Will this game come down to a field goal? And you got to think about Asa Miller, their redshirt freshman kicker. and his confidence level has to be sky high.
Each team has 2 timeouts remaining. And what was expected to be the closest of all the championship games played today and tonight. And here we are. McMaryion the throw to Keyshawn Johnson. See with forward progress, they'll give him a yard or 2. Tyler Horton will swing him around for the stop.
Tyler Horton has been outstanding in this football game. He has been all over the field. He has been matched up on Keyshawn Johnson quite a bit. And if I'm Fresno State, I'm going to do exactly what they're doing right now. They're taking Keyshawn Johnson to the other side of the field away from Horton. Let him run a double move over there on Williams.
2nd down and 6. On the ground, it's Ronnie Rivers running through some people. Still on his feet is Rivers, and they'll push the pile. What an effort by Ronnie Rivers with a little help from his friends to gain a 16. Looked like 26.
Ronnie Rivers, Jared Rice on back-to-back drives, showing you the effort, the want to. They want to win this football game. They taste it.
Clock ticks under 2.5.
No rush if you're Fresno State. You want to go down, get in position to put points on the board with no time left.
McMaryion has time to survey the situation and hits Jameer Jordan. He's out to midfield.
Boy, that was a big-time throw, dangerous throw. When you start working on one side of the field and you come all the way back and throw a long comeback route on the other side, typically defenders will be there in time for that, but Williams was playing really soft, and a big first down for Fresno.
18 yards on that last completion. McMaryion hit as he throws. Pressure from Louis again.
Yeah, Boise State is consistently bringing 5-man pressures off the edge, and they're getting some one-on-one matchups with Louis inside, and they can't handle him. And just that size and that bull rush between Louis and Hatada, both those guys getting pressure in the middle.
You see Asa Fuller loosening up, thinking about having a chance to win this Mountain West Championship game, and to do it on the blue at Boise.
This looks like a pressure look here with Noah in the middle.
McMaryion to throw and complete to Keyshawn Johnson. We'll see where they mark him out of bounds. They'll give him, let's say, 3 on the play. Again, it's Tyler Horton on the coverage. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down, 6th catch all of a sudden for Johnson.
Well, they've thrown a lot of short routes to Johnson, a lot of hitches on the outside. He's set up in this situation to run that hitch and go if you want it down the field.
3rd down and 7. Jabril Frazier's creeping.
Well, the defense is checking now because the offense is checking. Down to 6 on the play clock.
Now it's 2. And on 1, McMaryion gets the ball. In some trouble. Tug on his jersey. McMaryion can't get out of there. He's dropped for a loss by Jordan Happel. 4th down. And a punting situation. And the Broncos are going to get the football back.
Boise State defense just refusing to give up anything. They bring pressure. I'm not sure how McMaryion gets out of the first one, but Happel with a sure-handed tackle on the outside keeps Boise State in this game.
And Grease, good on the folks who have braved the elements tonight. They've seen a heck of a championship game this evening here in Boise. Here's Cusick to punt it away from his own 35. Avery Williams will let it bounce, and it will be down about the 16-yard line. Boise State will take over. 1:23 left and 1 timeout. As you see, Boise State, this is moments ago, bringing the whole team out there together, Grease.
Yeah, I like this. This is it. You get a 1.5-minute championship game. You got an opportunity to go down here and win it. That's all you can ask for.
So here we go. 1 timeout left for the Broncos. 1:23, and they're deep in their own territory, starting from the 15. Looking for Madison to break one. Helmuth won't have that.
They better have called 2 plays on that sideline when they were over there celebrating, because you come out and you run it like that, you better get to the line of scrimmage and go.
That was odd that the Boise State spent the timeout prior to the punt.
Well, they were trying to stop the clock because McMaryion was tackled in bounds.
And that leaves them with the 1 left. Here's Madison. Exactly what they were looking for there. And he's wrestled down by Jeff Allison. So we hit the final minute.
Boy, and Madison came down on the field hard. Oh, no, and he has played a whale of a game.
36 for 181.
Yeah, I mean, he just, and they have relied on him play in and play out, but he went down hard here. That's Jeff Addison, the linebacker, and the first thing to hit the ground was Madison's head. And you wonder about this field as it's gotten colder and colder. It gets harder and harder. You just hope that Madison's okay.
So let's see, the clock is stopped. Boise State still has their 1 timeout left.
For a 10-second runoff, as the first down is what stopped the clock.
So under a minute to do a 10-second runoff here.
Yeah, because of the injured player there.
Ripping the throw. And coming back for the ball, let's see. The Fresno State sideline says it's incomplete. C.T. Thomas, the intended target. The officials will agree.
So let's go back to that injury. As you see, this was clearly an incomplete pass, but that injury is important for a couple of reasons. One, obviously, he's not going to be their best player in this drive to potentially go down and win. But if they go to overtime, then they potentially would be without their best player. Now, he wants back in the game. You see him, he wants back in the game. And the trainers are trying to hold him back. That's the job of the trainer, right? And clearly Madison, he doesn't want to come out of this football game. Obviously, he's paid the price all season long, and he's just going to come back in the game. Brian Harsin needs to get control of this here.
Robert Mahone just carried the football, and it looks like at this point now Boise's playing for overtime. With 18 seconds left, the 1 timeout, but he's got his helmet on.
Well, he never took it off. But the problem is that, you know, when he got up off the ground, he looked like he was dazed. And everybody on that staff, the training staff in particular, saw that. And they need to take it easy with respect to Madison. And Brian Harsin needs to communicate with that training staff as well. Now they'll get a chance to do so.
So there might be some Boise State fans saying, hey, you know, we had a chance. We didn't take a shot, win the game kind of thing. But they played it conservative. And as you point out, they need to settle things down on their sideline. And now they can set up for overtime. The Mountain West Championship. We're going to play some extra football. Looking for carry number 37 on the night. And there it is. Alexander Madison, another shot from Jeff Allison.
Yeah, it's not like, you know, when he goes back in there, he's not going to take some shots, because that's the way the whole game has been. It's been Jeff Allison at 235 pounds at that Mike linebacker position, going head-to-head with Madison. It's been physical, and Allison, he's going to continue.
2nd down and 5. Madison, 2nd level, has the 1st down. Juju Hughes upended him. Again, in overtime, turn the game clock off.
What an awesome stiff arm there. I mean, he is so determined right now.
Oh, he's stiff-armed the training staff. And he's stiff-arming guys out on that field. I mean, he's come so far this year, and the whole offense has been on his back. And he was going to do anything possible to finish this season out the right way.
3 yards shy of 200 rushing. Madison. Mike Bell made the stop there. He's very close to that 200-yard mark. It is worth pointing out, should we get there, Boise State has not attempted a 2-point conversion all season long. Think about that for a second. See if that comes into play. Second down and goal, about the 8. Madison. Another yard or 2. Bring up a 3rd down and goal.
I mean, I get it. You're going to dance with the one that got you here in Alexander Madison. But at this point, if you want a little play action and sneak the tight end in the flat, it's going to be wide open. Blakely, Bates, any one of those guys, because Fresno State is selling out inside the box to stop 22.
And Brian, with the kicking issues that Boise has had, I wonder if they're not playing 2-down territory here.
Might be.
40 carries on the night, and even 200 yards. Alexander Madison, what does he have left in the tank? They are going to throw. Rypien to the end zone. It is incomplete, and a flag down. A.J. Richardson trying to bring it down. Jaron Bryant had the coverage. We'll check the marker.
An eligible player downfield on the offense, number 85. That penalty is declined. The result of the play brings up 4th down.
It's John Bates, the tight end.
Well, John Bates is a tight end.
So it's 4th down and goal. They will go for the field goal attempt. Hayden Hogarth, who had an extra point blocked by that man, Matt Boateng. The reason we're in overtime in the first place. Boateng nearly got there again. And the field goal from 23 is good.
Fresno State gets the stop that they need. Now they know exactly what they need to do. They score a touchdown and they win the championship. Boise State defensively has been up to the challenge ever since the first quarter when they turned the football over. They have not given Fresno State any sniff of the end zone in this game.
1st down and 10. McMaryion hit as he throws, and maybe too much mustard on that pass for Ronnie Rivers. Curtis Weaver had the pressure.
Weaver has had a big-time game. The defensive end, Mr. Redshirt sophomore, and he's been in the backfield consistently in the second half.
2nd down and 10. Need a field goal to keep going. A touchdown wins the Mountain West Championship for Fresno State. From the 25. McMaryion across the middle. Able to hit his tight end, Jared Rice, who rumbles for extra yardage after the catch.
Big time, great play call there. Why wouldn't you go back to Jared Rice? He had a big time play at the end of regulation, breaking tackles, a physical tight end. This is just a slow screen in the middle. They haven't run a bunch of screens, Fresno State, in this game, and well timed. That's Ezekiel Noah, the linebacker that gets comes up a little slow.
Rice picked up 16 on the play, 5 catches, 44 yards for him. And the Mountain West can be very proud of their 2 combatants in this championship game. 1st down and goal. Touchdown wins it for the Bulldogs. McMaryion on the ground to Ronnie Rivers. Rivers going to be close. He's down to they're going to mark him down at about the 2-yard line. Tyson Maeva may get another tackle.
And even now, Fresno State wants to go fast. They want to keep this personnel grouping of Boise State defensively on the field because they feel they have the advantage running the football.
A yard away from ending the Boise State nightmare on the blue for the Bulldogs. Rivers pushing, can't get there. 2nd and 3rd effort. He's right back to the line of scrimmage. It's 3rd and goal.
I came into this game thinking that in the red zone area and inside the 10-yard line that Marcus McMaryion was going to have to use his feet to score. They don't have a pounding back like Boise State does in Madison. They've got a little scat back in Ronnie Rivers. I think McMaryion needs to keep the ball.
3rd down and goal.
Well, that last play call told you something. They don't feel comfortable running between the tackles. It was a jet sweep.
They shift Rivers. McMaryion options to Rivers. Trying to turn the corner. He'll get there. Paintert into the orange to win on the blue. Ronnie Rivers and Fresno State in overtime. And check out this celebration by the visitors.
Wow, what a game. What a game. At the very end, you had to get some kind of doubt in the mind of Boise State and those defenders. It turned out to be the option with McMaryion, and that forced the Boise State defenders to free up Rivers on the outside, and he had the speed to the edge to finish. And finally, the demons are exercised, and Jeff Tedford completes that turnaround, and they're Mountain West champions here in Boise.
Good for Fresno State, thinking about the guys like Pat Hill and all those players, all the struggles, the rivalry here, and Hill bringing his team and coming close. And Boise State's always had that upper edge over Fresno State. And the Bulldogs victorious and in overtime.
Well, he didn't have to worry about that because he had the right play call. Just the element of the option gives a little bit of space. That's the first time that they've run the option tonight. And Boise State caught a little bit off guard. All Rivers needed was that little bit of the edge. He gets it, and he finishes.
You're right, that's the first option all night. That's amazing. And Boise State's usually a team with all the tricks. Here's Todd.
Coach, putting on your hat now. Tell us about what was going through your mind on that last series there.
Well, it's a hard-fought game, and everybody's battling. Defense played really well. Tough call down the stretch there, and Ronnie did a great job of getting it in the end zone.
For a program that came from where it was and the struggles, and to bring them success and then win this game in a place where they've been 0-10 on this blue turf, how's it feel for you and knowing that you're seniors as well?
Well, for our players, it's awesome. It really is. You know, it's our players been through a lot. This is a really tough place to play and to win. My hat's off to the Boise State program and Coach Harsin. They're an excellent team, very well coached, but I'm really proud of our kids. The way we were resilient tonight, just kept fighting back in a hard-fought game.
Your quarterback, Marcus McMaryion, the story that he has and where he's come from and the opportunity you've given him, what does it say about the way he battled tonight?
Well, he's a competitor, you know, and he's endeared himself to our team, to our community. He's meant a lot to this program, but he'd be the first one to tell you this is about team. And they all did a great job. They really did. They worked so hard, and I'm really proud of them. And the staff. The staff did a phenomenal job of getting these guys prepared.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you.
Steve?
Todd, thanks those 28 members of the senior class that played on that one-win team to have consecutive double-digit victories. No longer afraid of the big bad blue as Fresno State gets it done.
What an exciting game we had here for this championship showdown between Fresno State and Boise State. 5th time in championship history we've had a game decided by 7 points or less. It is my honor now to introduce the commissioner of the Mountain West, Craig Thompson, to present the championship trophy to Jeff Tedford and the Fresno State Bulldogs.
Jesse, thank you. What a fantastic football game tonight. The 6th annual Mountain West Football Championship, the 4th time two great teams, Boise State and Fresno State, have met in 372 days. It couldn't have been a more epic, classic game, overtime, and with great pleasure, I would like to present the 2018 Mountain West Football Championship trophy to Jeff Tedford and the Fresno State Bulldogs.
Coach Tedford, you take over this program, you go back to the Valley, and you had a lot of work to do. In 2 years, you got this program back on top of the Mountain West. How satisfying is this for you?
Well, it's very satisfying. First, I'd like to congratulate Boise on a great year. They're a great program, very well coached, very hard-fought game. But I couldn't be prouder of these guys right here, because these guys right here are the ones who did all the work. And our coaching staff did a phenomenal job. Everybody in Fresno that supports our program, we love them. But I'll tell you what, this group right here to win 21 games in 2 years and come away with a championship, I love you guys. You guys are awesome.
You guys talked all week about finishing. Your word to use finish a lot. That's a heck of a way to finish right there.
It really is, because we've been in a lot of close games with them and weren't able to finish here a couple times. And so our team had belief, and they weren't going to be denied tonight. And blocking the extra point down there to keep it going, and then being able to win it in overtime says a lot about our kids.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Go Dogs.
The offensive MVP tonight is Alexander Madison of Boise State, a Mountain West record 200 yards rushing. Let's bring in the quarterback, though, for Fresno State, Marcus McMaryion. Come on over here, my friend. My man, a lot like Coach Stedford, your journey brought you back to Fresno, California to take over and help lead this team back to a championship. You've done that. How satisfying is this for you?
I mean, it just means the world to me. I mean, I think at the end of the day, the seniors on this team have been through so much, and to be able to send them out on top, I mean, it really means everything to them, and the community of Fresno deserves it, and I'm just excited to be here.
You said this week there was no other team and no other place you'd rather play to finish the script than right here against them. Was it as fun as you thought it would be?
100%. I mean, overtime, there's no other way I would have managed it. I mean, just our main goal coming in was finish the job, knowing we came into the fourth quarter leading. We just wanted to finish it this time.
That final play, what was the play and why was it called?
I mean, Coach DeBoer just did a great job. He must have saw a look that he thought we could get that off. They were crashing kind of hard, and made the right read, and Ronnie made a good play.
Congratulations, well done.
Thank you, go Dogs.
And now for the defensive MVP of the 2018 Mountain West Championship game, Michael Walker from Fresno State. Michael, congratulations, 11 tackles. This was billed as a physical game, two physical teams. You guys matched that pound for pound, effort for effort. Was it as physical as it looked?
Yeah, it definitely was. I mean, that goes out to all my boys out here. Hey, we came in here and the memo was 60 minutes of hell. 60 minutes of hell, we're going to get this shit done. So, hey, I love every single one of y'all. I love every single one of y'all, baby.
How about the conditions? You got a little bit of everything from wet to snow. How much fun was it? I saw a few snow angels out here for the championship celebration, too.
I mean, when you're a kid and you're playing Madden and you change the weather to snow, this is what we dream about. We talk about stuff like this all the time. We don't get this in Fresno, so we love it. We love it. We love it.
To be back, what does this mean to the Red Wave for this program to be back on top of the Mountain West? That hasn't happened since 2013, winning a championship game. What does it mean to the people back home in the Valley to be bringing that championship trophy home?
I mean, it means everything. The Red Wave is why we do what we do. So we appreciate you guys. We love the support that you guys bring us, and this trophy's for you guys.
Congratulations, Michael Walker, the 2018 defensive MVP of the Mountain West Championship game. Congratulations to the Fresno State Bulldogs, your champions of the Mountain West. A reminder, you can watch both teams' post-game press conferences live on the Mountain West Network in about 10 minutes. Back to you upstairs.
As Fresno State gets it done. They win the Mountain West Championship by 3 in overtime. All right, I'll see you in a few weeks someplace. Come join me on Come join me on SportsCenter. I'll be there on Tuesday night. Here is SportsCenter right now with Kenny Mayne and Michael Eaves, fellas.